Hey everybody, this is Jeff again from Four Mighty Paws, and we are here with another edition of our Destination Fresh Foods. It's a whole education series that we're doing that we're talking with a lot of our vendor partners and brand partners and just people we admire in the industry who can tell us more about pet nutrition. And today we have a very special guest. We have Andra from Primal Pet Foods. Some of you remember Andra. We've done a couple different in the kitchens with Four Mighty Paws with Andra, and they're always super popular and super fun. And she's got a new twist today. So remember, when we're taking this destination fresh foods, every journey begins with one step. And so our goal with this whole series is just take one step to add some more fresh food um, into your pet's diet, and that's all you have to do. And you'll see, and you'll just take another trip. So it's definitely a journey that we're all on. So, but I'm so excited to have Andra here today and tonight with us because she is going to be she's in her kitchen and she is a passionate cook and she's passionate about dogs. And she's going to make some really great treats and lots of new ideas and things you can do. So definitely tune in. And we've got some special things at the end we're going to tell you about. Let's get started. So Andra, how did you get started with your love for pets and your passion for pet nutrition?
So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to go way back as a kid. And as a little girl, I always dreamed about having a house with a room with all these dog houses, and there was dogs in each one of them. So kind of where I was, I never played with toys. I played with my dogs. I would buy dolls so I could get their clothes for my dogs. Back then I didn't have dog clothes. And then life went on, and I grew up in Missouri, and I came back, and I was trying to find another job, and I ended up in a pet store. And I absolutely was so happy there because it was bringing me back to what always made me happy as a kid. And then I went and started working for a local distributor out of Kansas City. And I got a great opportunity. I couldn't believe Primal wanted to hire me.
They did.
And so they hired me about 6 years ago. I've been in the pet industry for 10. And I remember going to Four Mighty Paws, and I go, all right, Jeff, tell me a little more. So I'd always ask him questions. He does know what he does. I have a handful of people that I just totally admire because they help me understand a lot. But the passion, when it's in your heart, you can't let it go.
Right.
And I did have kids, and they're all grown up. They're still around. They're grown up. But my kids even know that my pictures of my dogs are on the front of my phone.
Sure.
But what happened is now they're all grown up. I love these are my children now, and so I make fun things for them. When COVID happened, I was listening to the news and how hard it is for these kids being at home. So let's come up with something fun is what I thought. And so I started making all this stuff because being from Missouri and back in my time, people baking things for people made you happy and made people happy. Always like, oh, can I give you something to eat? So Here I am with my pets, but let's go healthy because that's what Primal's all about.
Right.
Just a little tidbit that I don't know if a lot of people realize, but the owner of Primal is a culinary chef. So this is like kind of right up his alley.
Yeah.
He likes to, ingredient panels are so important. So I work with everything that's fresh. We don't have synthetics in our food, so I don't want to go in synthetics or anything that's going to step away from what we do as a company and how my heart is. And I know you're the same way.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Anyway, so I made a bunch of different things. One of the things is I made some little, I don't know if you guys can see it, but these are like little popsicles that you can do.
Uh-huh.
But we did fresh things. So I used my Elixirs. I used some blueberries. I've used goat milk, bone broth. Just really fun things. Back when I started this, ironically, you could not find anything to make stuff in. So I found this, which is actually for shot glasses.
Oh, there you go.
So I flipped it upside down.
But it works
And
for pets too.
yeah, you can make little shot glasses. So I just poured the food in there. This one happens to be goat milk with blueberries, and then I used the carrot for the stem.
Sure.
And so that's what this one's for. And then this one has muscle. Dogs, absolutely, cats love muscle. But it's so good for their skin and coat and everything. But this is one of my fun things I did. I took a little ice cube tray, and I think these are really cute. So I love doing things a little bit on the crazy side. But I made little ice cubes, but I put an apple in it, some blueberries. It's got goat milk. It's got freeze dried in there. This one has the greens from the Elixir with bone broth. So you can kind of see what they look like.
Nice. Did you have to, when you had it layered like that, did it just settle in the layer? Or did you have to freeze them in two separate?
I do it, it's a step process. So I go and I put one layer in, freeze it, then I go back in, put another layer in, and you can do up to 3 or 4 layers. It's really easy though.
Not that the dogs care, but we care. It makes it pretty and fun. So
it's for me.
Let's be curious.
Yeah. These I think are super adorable too. You know, it's kind of like getting into the holidays. But this has your goat milk, your squash, your greens. But then I went and put some cranberries on top.
Oh, nice. So it's almost like a little Thanksgiving dinner.
It's like a Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah. You could top it with some freeze-dried turkey and really make it like
it really made it
Thanksgiving treat.
I even did one with some parsley on there, and then you have your goat milk and your squash.
Nice. So when you're working on the proportions, how are you like how do you go about for everybody? How did you start? Like when you picked up the ingredients or started mixing things together, or
I think a lot of it has to do with baking. You know, as a kid, you know, I just love to bake. And
right.
So I just kept leveling it out, and I try to do like a fourth, a fourth, and a fourth so that it will layer out right. And then I just throw something on the top because I know the dogs don't care, but it's just pretty and fun, and but it's still healthy. So you're dealing with everything that's natural. These elixirs are just so easy to work with, and they have so many different, you know, varieties of the benefits behind it. But the other thing I would tell you is sometimes, you know, I actually buy at least 2 at a time, 2 different types. And that's because they have different benefits. So let's say you have a little bit too much or a little extra and you don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Make some treats.
Sure. You're right. And they hold, how long will they last when you defrost them in the freezer? How long do they last?
When you defrost them, you're probably looking half an hour to an
I mean,
hour.
how like days wise, if you're gonna make like 7 to 10 days or ish.
I would probably do 10 days. I would put them keep them in the freezer, put them in little baggies, and just pop them out for each day. You give a treat. Yeah. Or my dogs get about 4 treats a day, so.
Yeah. But the elixirs are really a nice way. You know, we've been talking a lot in this whole series about intracellular moisture and adding more moisture to your dog's diet. And so those elixirs are an easy way to add a lot of fiber, phytonutrients, and other just regular moisture to the
regular moisture. Yeah. So when you look at the elixirs, you know, so many people, and it's so hard because I am super passionate. When I see animals that's walking around, and a lot of them have really dry skin, and you can see just how dry their skin is, and they don't realize, because no one's really educated like you do, to teach people that adding more moisture into their body is what takes that scaliness out of there, and their skin and coat will get so much softer. Just like us, we have to have moisture in our bodies. We have to drink water.
We're 70% moisture, and that's the transport system for all the nutrients in our body, and it's really the secret.
Absolutely, and so many people don't realize. I don't care if it's the best dry food in the world,
right? But
you can't get moisture out of it, and that's the reason why so many dry food companies. Actually, we work really well together because we want to educate about how important it is to add that moisture. And we start in with bone broth so that there's that high moisture count,
Mhm.
but also all the benefits behind bone broth because it helps with hip, joints, gut, healing, sealing, which you've talked a
Yeah.
lot about. All of this is all natural. So you've got your squash that's going to be for your gut. You
And a
have
lot of
your,
antioxidants and beta carotene and things in the squash. So
yeah, oh
yeah.
yeah. And then you get into your muscle, which is really great for skin, coat, hip, joint. I've had more store owners with older dogs tell me how much it's made a difference with their older dogs being able to walk up the stairs. And even mine, who's got hip dysplasia,
Well,
and she just runs along.
yeah, we talk about, and one of the things that we talk about when we're talking about fresh whole foods is that bioavailability of the nutrients and the digestibility, and that our body's ability to be able to unlock all of those nutrients. So when you're getting a joint support from the muscles in the elixirs, or whenever you're having that whole food, it's your body's our animals' bodies are able to recognize it and utilize all of it much more efficiently. So.
Absolutely. And one way I explain it is absorbing through their body. So it's absorbing throughout versus having to break that food down.
Right. And
So
so, yeah,
their organs have to work so much harder. And when you add that moisture or you add those fresh foods, it reduces so many things. It reduces the cancer. It helps their organs to be relieved by adding that food, that natural food into their diet.
yeah, it just
And
supports all of
life
our
changing.
systems. So, and even, I mean, and just by giving treats, you're doing the same thing. So, because the portions aren't huge that you have to add in to get the health benefits,
No.
like a tablespoon or, a teaspoon, depending on the size of your dog, you're not talking about huge proportions to get a lot of those benefits. So I think people think like, oh, I got to add all this in. It's like, no, it's not that much to add in.
I'm
it's
making it a little crazy, but it's fun.
yeah, not every morning is like that, but it's super. Yeah, it's super fun.
Just
So what
takes
else have
a
you
piece
made?
of freeze dried and you add that in there, but you add water or goat milk or bone broth or an elixir with it, and now you're adding contents that's super easy, but you're adding it into their dry food that's going to give it so many more benefits. It also even helps clean their teeth. When you add raw food into their diets,
Right.
you're actually helping to break down the tartar and plaque off of their teeth.
Well, I say like an ounce of raw food really helps clean the teeth, especially when you can get into the recreational bones and things to chew, and even the raw meaty bones with all the good connective tissue in there. It almost works like dental floss when you're eating a turkey neck or a chicken neck or a chicken back or something. So it's like built-in dental floss, which is pretty cool. Yeah.
Thankfully, we don't have to do that one, right?
Yeah, exactly. So besides the layered treats and the popsicles, what else have you created?
Well, this is one of my favorite ones, and it's kind of funny when my dogs have to be hidden because I'm doing this because they go crazy. But I made ice cream. So what I did is I took some organic Greek yogurt, and then I added goat milk. So this is kind of a consistency, which I know you probably can't see, but it's really thick.
Yeah, it's like a thick milk. Yeah.
Uh-huh. And then I added some blueberries, and I'll try to see if you guys can see it a little bit. I added blueberries and some bananas, but
nice.
It looks really yummy. One time I tried it, not without thinking I was making from dog food.
Yeah.
And it was so tasty. I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot I wasn't supposed to do that. It's all human and organic and everything.
Yeah.
But, it is what our business is.
Yeah.
So
how long
anyway,
did you put that in the little in the ice cream maker then?
Yeah, I just put it in the ice cream maker. You do have to thaw it out a little bit.
And then how long does it take to prepare it? Once you put all the ingredients in and then you have to mix it up?
I would say probably like an hour to have it freeze.
Okay.
And then you kind of have to, it makes it harder. So you do have to let this thaw a little bit.
Sure.
So if you can see what this looks like.
Nice.
And then one thing I do, even when I do demos or anything, there's one thing dogs don't turn away from me is on freeze dried.
Yeah. Well, because it's all good meat. It's organ meat.
It's all good meat. Yeah. It's all protein.
Yeah. Meat and bone.
Even dogs that I always love people when they say, "Oh, I got a picky eater." I'm like, oh, perfect. Bring him over. Oh
So
my
that's a
gosh,
great,
he's eating.
because then you can scoop all of that out. You could put it in another container and then just scoop out a little bit as a
Yeah.
little bedtime treat or something. Because the Greek yogurt's going to have a lot of digestive enzymes and probiotics in it, as is the goat milk. You're
Yeah.
adding moisture to the food, and all the other health, so many more benefits than that our body can use just in a little treat like that. And then
Right.
with the added meat. So it's good for tummies and kind of
Yeah,
settling
because
into stuff.
I even added some blueberries in there, which is
Yeah.
a good antioxidant. You could do cranberries
Yep.
in there. The bananas, they're not as good. And Jeff taught me this: the greener they are, the better they are, because it keeps
Well,
the
because the green
right.
tip banana, the more green there is with your banana, then the less sugar is in that banana. So as they get more brown, they break down to sugar, and so they're a lot
That's
sweeter.
why we make
If you
banana
want to
bread
watch
out of it.
if you want to watch your sugar intake with bananas, then just make sure they're a little less ripe.
Yeah.
We don't like them as much, but they're a little bit better for the dogs that way. So green tip bananas are the way to go.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, and then another thing that you could do, and if you guys, so we'll get there. You could even take a little bit of this ice cream, and I didn't put enough in there. Just a second here. Stick it in there. You could still use the milk with the yogurt in there. Pour it in. And then maybe even take, I love squash, one, because it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It
is a beautiful color. I love that orange.
Yeah. And you can throw it in there as well and just give it a little more color. But what else are we doing there? We're adding benefits.
You're adding a lot of antioxidants there. You're adding a bit of a bone broth in there, and you're making like a little sundae for them. So that's even easier to digest. So awesome.
And then again, you can still throw a little bit of this in here. You can even.
And I would recommend, if you are going to treat, make sure you're counting what your animal's eating all day long. Kind of count the treats, because all calories in, calories out, how much activity they have. So if you are going to give them a little bit of a treat, maybe cut back a little bit of the dinner, primarily because you're feeding them whole food. So there are whole foods coming out of here. Not that this adds a ton of calories at all, but maybe back off a little bit if you make treats a regular part of your diet. But I love doing that. And you can use all of this with puzzle toys. You could, if you take some of the lick mats that we have at the shop, and you can spread some of the ice cream on top of that lick mat and then put that on the ground. That is going to keep your dog busy for like 15 minutes or longer. And remember, studies have shown 15 minutes of puzzle play is equal to a 1 mile walk. So, when your dog is busy or you're working from home and you're on that conference call, preparation is key. So get them prepared. And then once they've been working that, their mind is tired because they've been working it, their tummy's full, and they're more than likely just going to want to rest and relax and chill out so you can get done with your call. Or if you're home, working with your kids at school and everything else, because everyone has 8 million other things that they're doing in their life. And sometimes we want to keep our dogs just busy, occupied, and give them something else to do as well, and enriched. So that's a great way to do that. And again, you feel good about it because you've created something cool and healthy for your animals, and it's just all real food. So
I think I need a couple of those lick mats.
I know. They're awesome. They're
awesome. All over me some days when I'm on a meeting.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody came to my door.
But
and I don't know if I told you guys, but the other thing is that if you get your family involved in all of this, it's really great to teach kids about nutrition. Yeah. And so pulling this out, it's a great, if you have to do a project and about something, this is a great way teaching about nutrition with your pets. Because so many kids want to, give them a treat from their plate. They don't realize it's the wrong thing to do. But this is one way of really teaching them. And so doing something cute and fun, the kids get into it because they get to make it themselves, so they can be creative.
Yep. And you can talk about the individual ingredients and tell them a little bit about why these are good ingredients. And then they can feel good that they've created something for someone they love. And you know, for a lot of us, that's our love language, is creating and gifting something that you've made and given it to someone else. So that's
Yeah.
really, really cool and important. So
Absolutely. I think
yeah,
that, you know, we don't want to lose that part of all
right,
of it.
right,
And so, yes, I totally agree with you.
yeah.
And then, you know, does anybody have any questions that maybe I can answer for them that, you know, they've always wondered about?
Or if anyone, have you guys created anything at home that has worked really well, a really cool treat or something that you guys have made that you want to share with everybody? Because I think it's great when you can get that crowdsourcing and get new ideas or find things that people do, or new ways to look at things that we're not always aware of. So.
And Jeff, with that being said, why don't we do where we have anybody who turns in something on Facebook and they share it with Primal, and they
Or
share
Instagram. You could do Facebook or Instagram.
Instagram. Instagram. So many people are into
Yeah.
I forget. So either way, hashtag Primal Pet Foods. Hashtag count Primal Pet Foods, or adding it to
Hashtag Formality Pause,
Yep.
tag us both, whatever.
So
So
you
we
can
can
go
see
either
that.
one.
Yeah.
You turn it in. You can have your pet in there, do a treat that they love, adding some Primal in there, and then we will send you I actually will send it to Formatty Paws to
Yeah.
Jeff, and we'll do a
So we'll
special
message you, and then we'll find out where we can, which store you want to pick that up at. But that'll be fun, so we can share all these really cool ideas. You guys are so creative, everybody out there, and all the different ideas you have. So I think Andre's got us started with some really cool ways to do it, and that are fun and pretty. So let's do that, because we're going to be at home a lot more. I mean, still for a while, and it's going to be dark for that, you know. So let's being in the kitchen just makes us all, I think, feel good. So
yeah, and I'll send you something, the free product or something you guys can have.
Great, thank you so much. Great. Great. Well, speaking of that, then we've got a couple other offers that we're doing with Primal this week. So part of our destination fresh foods is we've got a couple gifts for you that are coming up. So starting tomorrow, when you buy, we really want you to try some of these, some of the products. So when you buy a goat milk, when you buy a bone broth and an elixir, and they come in different sizes, when you buy all three of the products, then we've got a variety of silicone mats for you, silicone little treat. Yeah, what are these? So bad on my camera.
So that's all right. I see them. They look great.
Oh yeah. So I've got the little. We've got the little silicone mats, all different kinds of colors. So first come, first serve. And so it's a limited time offer, but we're going to have that. So so buy all three, and you'll still get, by the way, 20% off. All of your Primal Pet Foods, everything Primal is 20% off this week through Saturday, part of our Destination Fresh Foods event. So it is a great time. Then when you buy all three, you'll get a little extra bonus. And then if you buy any Primal between now and the end of September, so then on October 1st, we're going to have a drawing for your own ice cream maker. So you'll be able to, courtesy and thanks to Primal, you'll have your own little ice cream maker that you'll be able to make your own frozen treats with at home for your dogs. So every time you, when you buy a Primal product, we'll enter you into each purchase that day will be entered into a drawing, and then we will pull that winner. There'll be a winner in each store. So both at Lafayette Square and at Edwardsville, and that'll be at the end of. We'll do that on October 1st. So yeah, so we're really excited about that, and excited for you guys to try these products. They are so simple to work with, so many benefits. Your dogs are really going to love them. Sometimes I think people walk up to the freezers and they're like, whoa, what is all this stuff? We have so many different things, and I don't know what to do with them. Well, this is a great way to start. Just make some treats up and layer them like Andra did. If you don't even have the silicone trays, they work great in ice cube trays. Whatever you want, whatever you've got at home, they work really well that way. So, it'll be really fun. So we can't wait to see what you guys come up with. So remember to tag us. So tag Primal Pet Foods, tag Formatty Paws on your social media posts. Facebook, Instagram, we'll be watching for that. And then we've got these other gifts for you. So just thank you guys for watching and for hanging out with us tonight. And thank you, Andra, for being with us tonight and bringing your passion. And your kitchen is so colorful. I mean, I could just look at that every all the time, because I love all of those foods, and everything make me very happy to see. So thank you so much. If you had one thing you could tell pet parents, what is your best advice for pet parents?
Learning to really understand ingredients and companies, how they make things and why. And then moisture. Moisture is a key to longevity.
It is. Absolutely. That's great advice. So, and we know if you're watching this, and this is going to be on our YouTube page, we have a whole playlist called Destination Fresh Foods. It will live there. It's also on Facebook. And then we also put links in our newsletters as well. So you've got a lot of opportunity. Share with your friends. This one's a really fun one to share. Great ideas out there. Thanks to Andra and all of her prep work. So thank you guys so much for being with us on this journey together, and have a great day. And we will talk with you later. Thanks, Andra. Bye-bye.
My dogs are going to be really happy now.
They will be very happy. Exactly. Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have to walk away.